Hey guys, Batmania 777 here. I'm going to do a card video. This is the first one I've done since, I believe, February 2016. I've got one of the best collections in the world, including the Honus Wagner. Mine's a 7. I believe that was the 1909 to 1911 year. I'm going to show about a dozen 10s in my collection. One of my 10s is from 1910. It's, I think, the oldest 10 in the world. There's, I believe, a few tied with it for that in that same set in that same year, the E98 set, for those of you who are familiar with it. But mine's from the Blank Swamp Find in Defiance, Ohio. I'll do another video on that separately, but I'll show you the card here in a minute. This first card goes out to Mangini. See if he can help me identify it. I don't know anything about it, but it's a 1909 Fred Payne, and it's not on paper. It's on silk. It's got a missing back. Okay, so I'm not sure what's supposed to be on the back, but there's nothing on the back. It's a 1909 silk, SGC authentic for amazing, awesome, whatever. It's in pretty rough condition, but I didn't pay a whole lot for it. And it's literally on silk. It's not on papers. And I couldn't find it anywhere in the Burdick literature. So if anyone, Mangini or someone else, knows about it, please do a video or put something in the comments and let me know. That one's, it's an interesting card, but I'm not sure it's really a card or how they came or where it came from. So going through some 10s real quick, worst to best. 86 Topps Dodgers, Steve Yeager, PSA 10. And by the way, I'm not into graded cards. I do have quite a few, but my preference is raw. And if it's graded, I prefer CSG or SGC, especially if you're buying a more expensive card. But for the most part, my collection, which is untold vintage, is primarily raw, which is what I prefer. I like to be able to actually hold the card itself. PSA 10, 1976. A's outfielder, one of my favorite cards. From the iconic 82 set, batting and pitching leaders for the White Sox, Lemon and Lamp, PSA 10. It's a nice card. It probably should hold it sideways like it's meant to be held. Most of the cards, of course, were vertical like this, but the veterans, super veterans, and the leaders in the 82 set were sideways. 73 George Culver, PSA 10. Again, I'm not a PSA fan at all, but if I find a good PSA 9 or 10, especially from the 40s or 50s, I'll buy it. Back to my favorite, SGC, 81 Lynn Jones in a 10. And working on the 81 set, all SGC 10s. I'm also working on the 74 Topps set, all in 10s. Here's a 74 Toihara SGC 10, or 98. In SGC lingo. Although they've changed their lingo a few times. I think they went to the single number now instead of between 1 and 10 instead of 1 and 100. 68, which is not a hard set to find in 10s. And there's one right there, Cincinnati Reds, SGC 10. Another one, this is a more recent pickup. One of my favorite players of all time, and in my opinion should be in the Hall of Fame, definitely. Now, I understand the arguments against it, but this is an SGC 10, 2021 gold label, Steve Garvey. Now, the card itself is not a 10. They graded the autograph, which was fine. The card looks great. I think if the card was graded, it would probably get an 8 or an 8.5, maybe a 9. It would not get a 10, but auto 10, the card looks good. It's fun to display, and it's not a set I'm building. Again, 68, pretty easy to find in 10s. Here's the Bob Robertson rookie. I guess I should hold it correctly. That's in a PSA 10. No, I know it's SGC, but in the lingo of the hobby, a 10. And by the way, I buy anything from authentic to 10, so it's not all 10s. 1983 Topps Michigan Test Pack in a 10. So this was a precursor to what you see today, where once you break it, you know it's been broken, as opposed to the old wax days of the 60s, 70s, and 80s where you could reseal them. And so I think this is the first pack of cards where it was sealed. If someone knows better and I'm incorrect, by all means let me know, but this is the 83 tops, which were mostly not test packs. They rolled out this test pack in Michigan. I figured the year after, in 84 and on, they would start to go with the sealed packs. Interestingly, they didn't. Last card, which is just baffling. Last card of the night, PSA 10. It's an SGC, but PSA 10 from the Black Swamp Find, E98, Chief Myers. Defiance, Ohio. About 25 years ago, there was a find of 700 E98 cards, all high grade, anywhere from 6.5 to 10. There were only a handful of 10s, and this is one of them. Then on the back, they had a list of cards, or of the cards. There are 30 of them. And what's interesting is, with all the collectors out there and all the research that's been done, to this very day, unless, at least last I read, to this very day, nobody has the faintest idea who put out the 1910 E98s. Most of them were found in northern Ohio. So my guess is they were regional. It was some probably candy company in northern Ohio or biscuit company that went defunct. But from the 1910 iconic E98 Black Swamp Find in a 10 Chief Myers. Thanks for watching.